Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to show you how I prepare shirts for a memory quilt like the one behind me. There are many ways to do this. There are so many videos out there. So I'm just going to show you the way that I do it and we'll see. So the first thing that I do is take my t-shirts, which I have right here. And the next thing I'm going to do after I go through them all is I pick the smallest t-shirt. This quilt behind me happens to be from a child size. I believe he was 5 years old, right up until high school from playing sports. And this was a gift that the mom wanted to give him before he left for college. So I take the smallest design and the largest design, and I kind of figure out a size that'll showcase the small and the large the best. Obviously, a lot of people go by the largest, but well, this is how I'm doing it. So they wanted a throw size, and I figured that would be a 60 by 60 is what I'm gonna go for. On these particular shirts, I'm using my 12.5 by 12.5 inch ruler. It's an Omni grip, so it's got that nice bottom so that it doesn't really slide very well, and I need that. So it's what I'm going to use. But before we get on to that, let's figure out how we're going to prepare these shirts. So let me just point this up a little bit. There. So I'm going to take the shirt and I have to cut it. Now, because this one has a front and a back, I'm going to try to use both sides. And for a throw size at the 12.5, like I said, I use a 60 by 60. So I'm going to need 25 squares. So let's just move these things. Which doesn't always mean 25 t-shirts because, like I said, I'm going to use the front and back of this one. So I'm going to show you how I cut up a shirt. The first thing I'm going to do is lay it out so that I have the armpit in front of me going down, and I'm going to cut up this side up until the seam under the arm. So let's do that. And then I'm going to cut right up the sleeve through the seam under the arm. Lay it open, and then I'm going to cut the top side of the shoulder, the sleeve, right up and follow that seam right up until the top. And I'm going to go right through that top shoulder seam and cut right into the collar. So then you have this. I'm going to continue over by now going to the other side and cutting down the shoulder seam and down the front part of the arm. And of course, these are t-shirts, so this is how I do t-shirts. And if you're doing a memory quilt and you're using their college shirts and button-down shirts, of course it would be different. So now all I have left is the underarm and down the side. So I'm going to do that on to the other side. And you could always iron it so that you have that seam in the material so that you can see exactly where to cut. But with these t-shirts, I'll have a lot of extra on the side. I keep looking over here and my camera is actually over there, I think. And here's the back. The next thing I'm going to do is have a nice hot iron. And because it's t-shirt and some of them are jersey from football, I kind of, knit material can move, jersey material can move. So I'm going to use a fusible, lightweight interface, which I like to use the PFF4 fusible interfacing, and this is for apparel. It says apparel interfacing, and this is $1.99 a yard. No, it's not $1.99 a yard. It's 99 cents a yard at Joann's. I buy it by the bolt, and you can use a coupon, so that makes it even better. And it is 20 inches wide, and a bolt has 48 yards, so it'd be 48, and then if you use the 60% off, 50 or 40, then it makes it even cheaper. And I've already done a couple of throws with this, so it lasts quite a while. So you're going to take this and you want to cut out, you can do this either way. I usually just go ahead and cut them all the same size wide as my project. So I knew I wanted 12.5 inches. I actually cut them a little bit more, so I know that I'll have a little bit of extra. Let's see, as I cut them, I cut out all the ones I needed for this quilt. And now I'm going to take the side that I'm going to start with. Like I said, I'm going to try to use both sides, and I'm going to lay it face down. And I know it's a little bit wrinkled, but that's okay. You can iron it first if you want, but ironing with the fusible, it makes everything go. Now your fusible interface is going to be soft on one side and bumpy on the other. And the bumpy on the other is the glue, I guess you'd say. Yeah. It's going to be the part that attaches. So I'm going to lay this out. And you're going to want to follow the manufacturer's instructions. I'm cutting away the tag because I won't need that. You just follow the manufacturer's directions. I know some people, you don't have to use the kind of interfacing that I use. There are other interfacings out there. This is just the one I feel most comfortable with. And I know how to use it. So, just spreading that out nice and neat, and then I'm going to take my iron. It just says to leave on for 10 to 15 seconds and then move on to the next. So that's all I'm going to do. And you can tell when doing it whether or not you could see the difference on the interfacing on the t-shirt, so you know that it's actually adhered. It's almost like watching paint dry, I know. And again, some interfaces might have different directions, steam, no steam. I use no steam on this one at all, just a hot iron. And then of course, if you have something on the front, you want to make sure that you're not, if it's vinyl on the front, you want to make sure you're not holding it too long. And you can tell, like I said, just by looking at it, that that's adhered well. So. And the edges where I didn't really go, you can pull it away. But then when you get to the part that you can't really rip it away. So. Voila. And see that ironed the front nicely. And you can always go over it with the iron on this side as well. I mean, I don't have to, because everywhere where I know I'm going to be working is pretty much flat. But as you can see, you can go across side. That glue on the other side is only on one side, so you're not going to adhere it. And I use a wool mat, so sometimes I have adhered it to the wool mat and it just peels right up. So the next thing you're going to want to do is take your ruler of choice, because your squares are totally going to be up to you. Like I said, this one happens to be a 12 by 12. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up so that my design is in the center of my ruler. And another reason why I like this is because it's see-through. So you can match, and it has your seam allowance built in to give you a 1/4 inch seam allowance on all 4 sides, and I really like that. And then I'm going to take my rotary cutter and I'm going to cut it. And then when I cut it, I end up with dun, 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 voila. This is one of my squares. And as I said, this is the jersey net, and this will really move under my machine. So it's another reason why I use the the interfacing underneath. And this is all adhered nice, and it's a 12.5 by 12.5. And because of the way the jersey sat, this is the top of it where the collar comes up. And I went ahead and left that in there. And, let's see, on this particular one, I also left the top of the t-shirt where the buttons are. So that's how I prepare. And again, I can show you another one. These I have to just cut them now. But these are already fused, and see how it becomes one with the fabric? I mean, you can barely tell that's fused. And that's it. So thanks for watching this quick video, and that is how I prepare shirts to put in a quilt. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.